Game number one is going to be
brutal.
It's going to be closer than you think, maybe like a 250 to 150, but they're going to get outslayed by 25 to 30 kills.
Okay, Jack? I think this is one that can go game 5. Look at these maps,
Really?
one that can go back and forth. I think FaZe take it, but map 1, Detroit Hardpoint, is one that iSolation could definitely sneak off.
Okay, I think if it does go the distance to that game 5, I have iSolation taking it. But overall, I think 3-1 Team FaZe. Now, over to our wonderful casters, Puckett and TP.
Thank you, Benson. I love how Benson always gives like 3 predictions. It's like, if this goes this way, game 1,
things I've ever heard of.
someone else will win.
Good old Ben.
All right, anyway. We're going into this one. I got to get your thoughts as we kick this one off, TV. You're the real expert here with us this weekend. Who you favoring?
In this one, I have to go with FaZe. They look pretty darn good in their other matchup versus Vitality. But Detroit's the map where we've seen some upsets already in this tournament. It all comes down to those money hills, right? Garage, and the Garage basically leads into the next yellow hill. If you're able to take the spawns from the Garage hill, rotate that back around, and get yellow control, you're able to rack up, 80, 90, 100 seconds very, very quickly. So although getting the lead in the initial parts of the map are very important, those are the 2 hills you need to focus on, and where we always see a team come back.
And if you're looking for iSolation to take a win against FaZe, who is clearly the top team in this pool, at least by pro points,
Right.
who's the key player?
I think the one person that needs to step up, for me, I think it sounds weird, but Silly. He's one of those players when I saw ISO beat FaZe before that was always making crucial things happen on the map, especially in Search and Destroy. He is quite deadly with the sniper, so I think we need to see the same sort of things from him as an individual if they're going to have a chance in FaZe, especially S&D.
You saw Havoc run the entire perimeter of the map, got 3 straight kills. Now Silly picks up 2. Dito trying to break in, but it is FaZe still with control. We'll go over to Attach, and you can see FaZe trailing early, but I feel like they're just getting warmed up here once again on the main
exactly.
stage.
We saw the same sort of thing on FaZe on Solar versus that Vitality team. They didn't have very much control, but they're able, through purely individual gun skill, keep the score close enough. They weren't getting spawns. They didn't have any sort of control, it seemed like, and then boom, all of a sudden, one hill, they got complete control of it. They love taking advantage of those money hills, and they're quite good at it, obviously.
Havoc, best score in the game, was just melted by Clayster, and Attach holding down the Garage as well. Take a look over at Silly, though. Silly trying to patrol this ramp. Clayster's challenging. Llama God's getting the call out. We'll see, is he able to handle? And Attach will come up, pick up 2 with the help of Clay, who's on a 3 streak, and it's been a pretty nice performance so far by Attach and Clay running together.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how they were able to break in so quickly. It seemed like ISO had that initial control, but all of a sudden, Attach was able to slide into that ambulance area. And overall, they just didn't get any gunshots on him at all. Clayster doing a great job back here at the statue, just holding these spawns. And like I said before, if you're able to hold this back area, set up those spawns for the next hill, you're going to milk a lot of time on these 2 hardpoints.
15-point differential in favor still, iSolation Esports. And Dito doing the damage outside. Let's go over to the rotation fights. The first one is going to be a little bit of a team kill. Dito on Havoc, but it doesn't matter. All blue in the kill feed until Enable is able to pick up Dito. Silly, though, locking it down inside, is going to be here first. And you look at that mini-map, FaZe is just getting wiped up. Perfect rotation from iSolation.
Great job, yeah. They were able to get into that hill, got it instantly 4 dead. And although ISO didn't really have control of the spawns, when you get 4 kills like that in quick succession, you're able to spawn them basically wherever you want. They got to the back of the map quickly enough, and then you see FaZe spawning over and over at that green area.
Big play from Enable, breaks in, stops the scoring, starts putting up some numbers for FaZe, but their score almost doubled by their opponents in this first round of rotations. They've got to step it up in the second half. We take it over to Clayster. He's been sticking with the bow after flirting with the ASM1 a bit. And his shot is on. You just saw the melt machine going up against Dito. Now he's going to push in, has Havoc and Llama. And Llama, the jump shots, able to take him down there. Hill, though, controlled by Attach, and Attach on that 3 streak is going to bring it within 20 points as we get to 5 minutes, 55 seconds on the clock, last hill before we restart the order.
Yeah, great job from Llama and Havoc so far. Both of them just putting up great numbers, great kill-death ratio so far in this, and that's why I think they have the lead. Detroit, obviously a close-range map. When they're able to step up like this and consistently get those intro kills, it's very easy to, you know, take out some of the slower pace players like Clay, like Enable, that are sitting a little bit farther back. So they definitely have the better hand of Zuma and Attach right now, and if they can keep it up, they might be able to extend the lead. Dito set up very well at those crates right there. He wasn't able to pick up the gunfight win, but they had to spend so much time getting him out of that power spot in order to contest the hill.
Focus a little bit down on Llama and Havoc. Tell me a little bit about these guys. When did you first hear about these two players?
They just sort of rose up this year, and obviously we've seen from Havoc. He's, you know, we like to call them S&D stars, but he's obviously held his own in respawns as well. Pretty much rising up the ranks with Dito on this sort of unknown, I would say, isolation team. They've had very, very good results throughout this the later half of Advanced Warfare, I'd say. Had some pretty notable victories, but especially the biggest one, you have to say, is versus FaZe at DC.
Taking a look at kind of the setup, you see Llama and Havoc in charge of patrolling the hills. They have Dito and Silly, the ones who are rotating out and putting the pressure on spawns. Both players did a great job in the last 30 seconds, and they've built up a comfortable lead once again. This middle Atlas, very hard to control for a full 60, and they're going to get a big chunk off the break. Will Zuma be able to hold it down? Nade comes in to clear him out. Nice placement there by Dito. Enable jumps in his position, though. 30-point advantage still in favor of iSolation Esports, who has led almost all of this game outside the first minute.
Yeah, this is a great job from ISO, and they love to play this sort of style in hardpoint. Just constant pressure on the hill and just keep racking up scores. You see consistently from them when they do take these wins in hardpoint over the top teams. It's a game where it's like 230 to 220. Those types of styles, they just try and contest and keep it close for the entire map, so spawns don't matter as much. But right now they've been doing a much better job at holding the spawns than FaZe.
Yeah, and Silly is really that player you want to give credit to for doing that. He was the first one who rotated. Then you saw his teammates going through school. He rotates back, makes sure their team isn't getting flanked. They have the better spawns throughout this full green hardpoint, and they are not letting go. FaZe really up against a tough challenger here on the main stage. A bit shocking for a lot of people who haven't been following iSolation Esports throughout Season 3.
Yeah, for sure. And FaZe does a great job. I think ISO a little bit over-challenged right there. FaZe was just sitting outside of the hill, pre-aiming in, and they just sort of challenge one at a time. Never something you really want to do. Going into the later seconds on this green hill, they need to make sure they do not let FaZe get back around that hotel side and block the back statue spawn, because if so, they're going to have a tough time. They're trying to do like a half and half sort of setup, but now we see they're starting to back up and go to those garage spawns, spawning inside right now at the bottom of the ramp.
Tad's trying to break in, not going to work. Clayster peering from the window, looking for those AR players. Spots Llama. Shots in him, can't finish. Here comes the help from Zuma. Zuma's going to charge in through the front, though. He's got the bow on his back. Here comes the SMG. Stuck on the window, spots Silly, wisely backs down, looking for a little bit of help. And now Zuma trying to make the hero play. Can he get through? Stopped immediately by Silly. He said this is going to be your key man. He is leading his squad. 8 captures, 22 and 24 from Silly so far in this game. Havoc slowing down a little bit, but still the best score in the game at 27 and 23.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great play from Zuma right there. You saw how he kind of waited to challenge those gunfights, waited for his teammates to go around the back, make sure the spawn was blocked, so his kills actually mattered. If he would have went right away, the kills would have just spawned back up right away with their teammates, but he waited for that first kill from Clay around the backside of the map, and then he just proceeded to go in, got the pinch set up, perfect plays from Zuma to break that garage hill.
5 seconds remain there. 9 seconds on your scoreboard. Separating these squads, and it's gonna be FaZe set up. Will they be able to mount another last-minute comeback? They struggled at the start of their previous series against Vitality, closed it out very strong, and then never looked back in that best of 5. Here, though, 3 down, Enable spawning out. ISO has broken through.
And you see, look at the KDs on ISO right now. They do this time and time again. More pressure in the hill than the other team, and they always come out with one of those 1, 2, 3 pieces. We saw 3 from Dito right there to break into yellow. Getting pretty tense here in the last minute or so of the map. ISO starting to increase their lead a little bit, funneling the FaZe players into this back door. Easy gunfights for ISO right now.
Llama God is inside. He will fall. Havoc trying to poke back through. Gets one. Clay had to dip out for a moment. Silly gets into support. It's going to come down to the school, and you see Havoc rotating around, trying to get the players in transition. Big kill there. Spots another one, sprinting back. Dito's going to get every last second. FaZe going to have their work cut out for him. Can they hold on to the final hard point.
I won't be surprised if ISO pull out a lot of nades right here. This hill is very open. You can just simply go up to the middle street, and sure, we see it. Semtex is flying in. All they need to do is contest a little while longer. 10 seconds left until it's mathematically impossible. Attach doing his best to contest, though. Sitting in the corner, trying to keep it close. 30 seconds left. They have plenty of time to do it, but gunfights need to be won right now.
Navel gets one. Llama God pokes his head and Attach is going to fall. Clayster, though, a big two-piece, takes out Silly and Llama. The nades continuing to fly, and it's going to come down to the wire. You hear the fans getting loud here in New Orleans. 6 points separate these two squads. The contest gets shut down. Attach and Clay taking it in the final moments. FaZe is going to come back and win this unless ISO breaks in right now.
Absolutely crazy plays from the world champ duo. We see it time and time again. FaZe is able to come up clutch in situations where they have no place of winning. Attach, Clay, both go in. Guns blazing, get the 4 dead instantly. They spawn so far away, able to take back that deficit they were in. 15 seconds going down with 30 left in the hill. You never expect the team to win that. FaZe are showing why they're clutch and the best team in the game right now.
iSolation led that game for 8 minutes and 24 seconds. It's actually going down all the way down that last hard point that they had the lead. FaZe comes back and robs it again. You saw how fired up Zuma was there. This is dangerous. Now you got FaZe,
the big win,
heated up, fired up.
Wow.
How do you stop these guys?
It's going to be tough after that. If there's one team I could say could rival FaZe in S&D, it is iSolation. But after a loss like that, they had it so easily in the bag. And I hate to say so easily, but when you're set up like that, all you have to do is contest a certain amount of time. They just weren't able to do it. Went 4 dead, didn't preserve each other's lives enough, and just didn't dash around. Needed to stall out just a little while longer, but nope, weren't able to do it. Huge win, nice comeback from FaZe.
Incredible finish. FaZe is going to take game number 1, but this is just the start to it.